I learned at a seminar one time, there's a good deal waiting for you about once a week. So you just look for it and you'll find it. Well, hey everybody, Scavenger Steve back here with you today, and come to Newton, Iowa. I had a little bit of business here today and looked up an old friend of mine, Fred. And Fred, would you say hello to my followers?
Hi, how is everybody doing today?
Yeah, we've known each other a long time, and Fred's been following me quite a while on YouTube, and I've asked him to be a subscriber. Just occurred to me not very long ago to go around and maybe do a brief interview with some of the people that have followed me on YouTube as Scavenger Steve. And Fred said that, okay, he would allow me to ask him a question or two. So I hope he's still going to allow me to ask a question or two.
Not a problem.
And so he's read a couple of my books, and he's known a little bit about me. I've given a seminar or two that he's been at and so forth. And I just wanted to ask you, Fred, can you just throw up an idea or two of maybe something that you, let's say a big takeaway or even a small or medium-sized takeaway of something that you found maybe in one of my books or in a conversation which maybe you've been able to utilize in a business sense. Now you've been buying property for how many years?
About 10 years.
All right, and I started way back about 44 years ago,
Yep.
But nonetheless, you've done very well, by the way. And I've always loved to speak to people who are involved in real estate. And but anyway, so can you share one or two takeaways,
Well,
Fred?
you know, one of the things that you've stressed early on, and we go a little bit different direction when it comes to, you know, the saving of the money. And of course, there's a lot of different ways to go about that. But the bottom line is, in rental property or any kind of investment, you're going to have to make money. And I don't worry about competition because there's a lot of people that just don't understand that concept. They don't understand how to buy, they don't understand how to manage the property and to make sure that it pays. Because if it doesn't pay, you're not going to be in the business very long. And so as I've followed Steve and have known him for about 10 years, we go about it a little bit differently, but that's a crucial point that Steve has pointed out. You got to make money, and that has been an important thing for me in my business.
So that's the basic idea of scavenging, just working things as often as you can to your advantage, that mainly controlling costs, which are materials and labor. And if you start out with a bulldozable shack like I did, just I had less than nothing and went around to garage sales and estate sales and would buy this or that or the other, a sink or a little piece of carpet or a little piece of vinyl, and would just kept. I think one thing that was very important to me was that to have a garage or someplace to store some of those things, so I knew that if I didn't have an immediate use for those things, that I would have a use coming down the road a ways. And so that's what really got me going, by just completely scavenging everything and cutting corners and watching costs on all of the labor and materials. And that's pretty much what you've done too.
Oh yeah, there's always trying to save money, always trying to find a proper contractor. I do a lot of the work, some of the work myself, and try to manage that properly with my full-time job. And so, you know, rental property is kind of a sideline, it's kind of a hobby. But it's turned into a lot more than you would think, because that's the way real estate is if you manage it properly.
Yep, and you figure just the natural inflation over the last 100 years in the United States is roughly 5% per year, and you started buying 10 years ago?
Yes.
And so, you know, that property has inflated 50%, and that's just money coming in. It's on paper, but it is your money. Because why? Because you have access to it immediately when you go to sell the property, or when you get ready to refinance. Every bank in America will let you pull out either
right.
75 or 80% of all of your of your equity buildup.
That's right.
And so there you have it. Well, we're over 4 minutes, folks, and I'm really enjoying going around and interviewing some of the guys that have followed me for a while on YouTube. And I had to pick on Fred today because of a doctor's appointment I had here in his hometown in Newton, Iowa, right along Interstate 80. Beautiful day here at the end of July. And so this is Scavenger Steve signing off. Anything else you want to say, Fred?
Just get out there and find some good deals. They're there.
There you go. There's a good deal. I learned at a seminar one time, there's a good deal waiting for you about once a week. So you just look for it and you'll find it.
That's right.
And I'm talking about a very good deal, not just an average deal, but you have to look for it and they will come to you. So anyway, with that, we'll say this is Scavenger Steve signing off and encouraging you to go seize the day and scavenge your way and become a subscriber. Right, Fred?
There you go. That's right.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.